This channel's contents are intended for audiences 18 or older. We do not condone any illegal activities. This video was created for educational purposes only. The Ganja Green. What are true F1 genetics? What's up, you guys? Demi here with Resurrection Genetics. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. The more subscriptions we get, more follows we get, more people see these videos. So basically, this isn't too educational. I just wanted to kind of do a breakdown here and kind of clarify a few things in the cannabis industry. Right now in the cannabis industry, we're seeing a lot of what we would call in breeding pollen chucking, where we've got a lot of people out here selling genetics where they're basically just taking other people's bred out stabilized genetics, buying a seed here, buying a seed there, getting some regular seeds, finding a good male, finding a good female, and pollen chucking. So they're just crossing those strains, creating the seeds, and they're selling them as true F1 genetics. So to a sense, I could say that they could be F1 genetics, but they're not true F1 genetics. So F1 genetics would be two stabilized strains that are being crossed with one another. And then those offspring are going to be the offspring of those two stabilized genetics. So you're going to get attributes of both of those plants. It may not be completely stable, what you're going to be getting. It's something that you would have to then stabilize yourself to get uniform exactly how you want it. But there's a long process into going to get a stable line in a true F1 genetic. So the way that I was taught, true F1 genetics come from our Landraces. So if you have some heirloom seeds or Landrace genetics and you pop a bunch of seeds and you find a very rare gem, or if you're a strain hunter, you go out and actually hand select some seeds from a beautiful pheno that you find on a strain hunt. Those seeds have specific genetic diversity that specific breeder is looking for. And because those strains have been open pollinated in fields for so long, or those genetics have come from plants that were open pollinated for many years, it's very diverse. The genetic diversity of the offspring from those plants is going to be all over the place. But from these seeds, you're going to be able to find some very rare gems that you can breed out and stabilize to create some very good future genetics. So basically, this is what a true F1 is to me, in the way that I was explained to it years and years ago when I started smoking cannabis from a very good friend of mine. Not gonna say his name, but he's a pretty reputable grower. And basically what you want to do is find two very good or very diverse Landrace genetics, and you want to stabilize those. So let's say you want to create a very unique hybrid. You select let's say ball cash plant, a pure Landrace from Afghanistan that's going to be a very strong indica, very resinous, good for making hash. And then you pick a Corrento or Mango Biche from Colombia that grows differently. Smaller bud formations, bigger plants. Indicas are going to be smaller, bushier, wider, have very big, large, broad leaves. And Mango Biche, Corinto, these Colombian genetics grow very conical, thin branching, smaller buds. They grow very large. Sometimes they can grow up to 15 feet tall, maybe even more in some situations. But the thing is, you're taking two genetics that have two separate, what can I say here, attributes. You have one that produces a very laid back, chilled high, and you've got another one that is a very psychedelic high. And they have different attributes as far as pest deterrence, resistance to mold, resistance to other things, the climate itself. And then you have genetics coming from this indica that will allow this sativa to now flower faster. It can resist the cold more. And then now, and vice versa, the indica is going to be able to resist the heat and the humidity and all of these things. So you take these two specific landraces from these two different, completely different places of the world, and you breed these plants to a stable line, what we would call in breeding an IBL, an inbred line. After you're getting past an F5, pretty much you've pretty much stabilized the line if you did it properly and you selected over and over the attributes that you were looking for in this plant. So to create a true F1, you want to take those two completely stabilized landraces that came from two completely places in the world and cross those two together. Once you've done that and you create some viable seed from those plants, you now have a true F1. This is true F1 genetics, and it's a long process. It's not as simple as just buying two good seeds, growing those plants out, pollen chucking, and then selling those seeds. You're talking about a process to stabilize something like that could take up to 8 years, 10 years to have amazing genetics in that sense, a true F1. So I just wanted to do this little video to clarify some things in the cannabis industry. And this is my take, and this is what I was taught years and years ago about what true F1 genetics are. So if you have a different opinion than me, you would like to comment and dialogue about it, or you would like us to make another video, just reach out, comment on the bottom of the page, hit that bell, like, comment, share, and then subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, it's Demi with Resurrection Genetics. Peace out. The Ganja Gringo.